What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Devil's Details Diecast Custom Build Series. Now, I know you may be thinking this is not any kind of hot rod, muscle car, pickup truck, jacked up Jeep, or anything like that. No, this is a 1990s Chevy Lumina. And why is it on the turntable, you may ask? Well, in full disclosure, I drive a 2008 Chrysler Town & Country that I love. I call her Big Red. She hauls a lot of stuff around for me in my woodworking business, and it's paid off, and it's been a great little van for me. The other day I was thinking about how you never see any kind of minivan. Sorry about the focus there. You never see any kind of minivan jacked up or off-roaded or lifted or anything like that, probably for good reason. But I was daydreaming about, what the Town & Country would look like maybe as a outback vehicle or survival vehicle. When I came into the shop today, I was digging through the car bin, and I found this Chevy Lumina that I've had for quite a while, and I said, you know what, instead of a Gaslands build this time, I'm going to take those Gaslands skills that I've learned. I'm going to put a lift kit on this Lumina, maybe some roof racks, and I'm going to kit it out for a backcountry type of build. This year on the channel, I've kind of wanted to go a different route and maybe do some type of, not fantasy builds, but builds that you wouldn't normally see. Obviously, the Wastelands being heavily featured, but also builds that may be a little bit off the beaten path, no pun intended, like taking this Lumina and making it a zombie, or, not really zombie, but more of a 4x4, something you could drive daily, but also something you could take in the back roads. So stick around for that. It should be interesting. See if I can pull it off here. It's a pretty cool design as it is. I got some green light King of Crunch wheel sets coming in, so I'll have plenty of tires to work with, and it's got plenty of roof space for a nice roof rack and stuff like that. So stick around. Let's 4x4 this bitch out and see what we can do. Alright, so we're back here with the Chevy Lumina off-road experience, as we've been calling it. Well, I've been calling it. I painted it a German gray, which kind of basically looks like the die-cast color, and then I did a flat black on the roof. This is going to get a roof rack, so you're really not going to see it anyway, but I wanted to give it a flat black top. I got a shipment of Kings of Crunch wheels in today, which are my favorite off-road tire pack. And I wanted to obviously put off-road wheels on it because it's going off-road, but I didn't want to really jack it to the sky like I normally do with like my Wastelands builds, and I didn't want to put a ton of height on it and all that stuff, but I also obviously wanted to have clearance of the wheel wells and all that good stuff. So what I ended up doing was putting two rails on the bottom. Obviously this will be all painted black, and then I'm going to put my axle tubes on top of those. With the axle tubes, they were going to come basically right to the wheel well, and then we're going to clip the wheel wells, which obviously would not give them a good roll. So now, it's hard to show obviously without that all in place, but once I get the axle tubes on, it's going to give it just enough height to clear the wheel wells and not stick out totally far, so they're not sticking way out of the casting, then it looks stupid. But they're also not going to be jacked to the sky, because I do want it, to be off-road, but not, monster truck. So just figured I'd check in with you there on that build process. These are glued into place. I'm going to get the axle tubes done, and then I'll show you how the height works on that. Waiting for some parts from Flying Valiant. He's printing up a bunch of off-road type survival parts for me, roof rack and some tools and stuff. And then it's almost probably going to be done. There's not much to it. I'm going to do some weathering, obviously, and add a couple doodads and pretty much calling this one done, so it's not going to be that involved of a build, but looking forward to the results, so stick around. Here we have it, the rolling Lumina. Of course, best laid plans. I did have to add a spacer in the front and the back, and still had to notch out the base. You can't really see it, but I had to notch out the base in the front. These things never go as planned, but all in all, I'm happy with the results. It rolls, it has clearance, it's not too high, and the wheels don't stick out that far. Looks good to me. It's got a nice stance. Pop some wheelies. No. We're going to add some step-up bars on the side anyway, so they can get up in the front part. It's going to have all the glass, obviously. I just have it off for the build process. So there she is in all her glory. And if you remember, this is what we started with. The 1990s Chevy Lumina minivan in this aqua teal sparkle paint finish. Kind of looking like a space bullet. Take the kids to school. And here's what we came up with. The Chevy Lumina off-road vehicle, not a Wastelands build. Even though I painted the mud on the same day as I painted the Wastelands car. Wanted to prove that a minivan can look cool as an off-road vehicle. I guess. I think it looks pretty cool. I would take this out on the back trails and go camping with it and everything else. I think it turned out pretty cool for something like that. If I could do it to my town and country, I would. That's for sure. Big shout out to Chuck Ellis over at Flying Valiant for supplying most of the 3D printed parts. I got a little crate on top. I got a bedroll. Got a shovel, toolbox. There's an axe, I believe, up there if it didn't fall off already. Step bars, the front brush guard. Yeah, it looks like we lost the axe somewhere. Very, very tiny. The jerry can on the side, the ladder. If you guys are ever in need of any 3D printed parts or any decals, I know he's pretty busy right now, but hit up Chuck Ellis over there at Flying Valiant. Does a great job, very reasonable, and he's right here in the U.S., and he could definitely use the support. So we do have a roller here. Made a nice little chassis for the bottom, some tubes. Made an LED bar on the top here. I've shared this trick before. Basically use a zip tie and a piece of styrene or a piece of plastic if you have it. Just cut the zip tie to length, obviously. Glue it onto a piece of styrene and then paint it black or whatever color you want to match your build. And chrome out the zip tie once everything is dry, and you got an instant light bar for your vehicle. Not much else to it. I painted it a German gray, as you saw in the build video, and then just kind of made a little bit of mud mix out of some acrylic paint. Grabbed a toothbrush and flicked it on there. I love how this piece came out on the side. Kind of gives a nice action shot of mud. If this guy went out into the backwoods over the weekend and hit some trails, hit some mud bogs. And that's it. Calling it a wrap on this one. So just a fun build here. Something I've wanted to do for a while. And again, I explained in the beginning, I do drive a minivan and always wanted to put it on a lift. And still may do that one day. It's paid for. It's a 2008. And why not, right? I'm always out camping. I'm always out in the woods. And I'd love to have a nice lifted minivan with all the storage in the back for camping and all the stuff that I do out in the woods. So Maybe one day, but for now, I guess I'll be happy with this Chevy Lumina minivan, and on to the next one. So, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends, and we'll see you on the next build. Be well.